Hello, everyone. Before we get started, I wanted to take a second to let you know that we often discuss really difficult topics on this show. The conversations can go from something benign and completely unrelated, then shift into something really heavy, really quickly, and at times without preamble. These topics can include physical, sexual, and verbal abuse, suicide and suicidal ideation, and different kinds of self-harm. I'm going to do my best to edit in some small markers that sound like this to let you know something coming up might be hard to hear. If you need immediate help, dial 988 and you'll be connected to the lifeline. And veterans, you can choose option 1, and LGBT people can choose option 2. If you're in immediate danger, please call 911. I picked these questions this morning to try to give myself more of a less time to think about it.
Gotcha.
And I was in a good mood, so that helps with not picking fucking weird questions.
That works.
Time for the intro. Let's really get that energy out. This is Hard Shell Tacos. If you can't stand the heat, if you can't handle me at my hot kitchen, you don't deserve me at my Hard Shell Tacos.
There you go.
That's what I'm gonna say.
Okay.
My name is Leo. I'm joined by my cousin Lily. We are gonna get all up in our feelings, and we're gonna start with what is going to become our intro segment. Describe how you felt from our last time we recorded last Friday. Today is the 24th, so it's Thursday. On a scale of 1 to 5, and describe it in one word.
Let's see. I'm gonna probably say probably around the last time a 3. Not a 3.5, but a 3.
Yeah. Okay.
And if I can describe it in one word, oh man, I mean, there's a lot of words and I can't really pick one. It's been stressful and heartbreaking all at the same time. My senior dog, who's 14, she is kind of going through some stuff right now where she's losing some balance. I mean, she's fine now, but she was losing some balance on her back legs, and yeah, that just wrecked my entire week because she's my baby, my best friend, and I don't want to lose her just yet. So
what is it with the fucking synchronicities? I was having as I was coming up my stairs to get to my office to do this, I noticed that my dog, she's 11, and so maybe like on the cusp of being a senior, but not quite. But she's still doesn't have that same pep in her step that just kind of comes with age. She's slowing down a bit, and it's the same thing. It's like, fuck me, I'm not ready for this.
Yeah. Like, they are considered seniors when they hit 7 years old. So she's a senior. Yep. But yeah, like my dog, she's usually still kind of peppy even at her old age. But then she got really depressed herself because she couldn't really stand right or walk, so I had to help her get off like the bed or the couch, and then she hasn't been eating. She's still not eating that much, so I'm
having the same thing.
I'm like just debating to see how she's doing next week, and then depending on how she feels, I'll probably take her to the vet. I don't want to because I don't want to hear recommendations, I know what's gonna be
the hard choice.
Yeah, I'm not ready for that. Like, I lost her brother from the same litter 4 days after their 11th birthday in 2020, and I'm still not okay losing that dog. And seeing how quickly he went just makes me very paranoid with this one, because she's exhibiting some of the same things that he did, and I'm like, I don't want to go through this, and I'm like, why do I keep getting animals? I don't do well with loss. I really don't do well with loss, like, at all. Not good with it.
There's CBD treats that you could get that are made for animals.
Yeah.
Supposed to be really good for seniors.
Yeah, I had, I think for her brother, we had an oil
Yeah.
That he was taking to keep him, calm and as pain-free as possible. I might have to get her some of that because I give her like a lot of glucosamine to help with her joints and stuff. But yeah, I don't know what happened. Like she was fine one day and then she just started kind of going downhill. But today she's got a little bit more pep to her, but she's still kind of down too. So I might try to find some of those CBD treats for her to keep her comfortable too.
I've been giving my girl more fish. She fucking hates it.
Okay. Yeah.
She fucking hates it. So I have to put the stuff that comes in like a jar or whatever, the Parmesan cheese that you get for your spaghetti. It's rough getting her to eat it, but eventually she figures out, like, if I don't eat this, I'm not eating.
Yeah, and the only way that my dog is eating right now is if we give her wet food, like with her stuff. And I got her puppy food to help her kind of gain some weight back because she's been losing crazy weight, but she's only eating just the wet food. And, I don't give her a lot because it upsets her stomach, but the little bit that she gets, she'll eat, but she won't eat her kibble that's mixed in there. So I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I need you to eat. This is why you're weak.
Yeah.
Come on.
The kibble part happens all the time. I gave up on trying to give her dry food, and especially now that she's getting older, I'm like, oh shit. I'm gonna try to make. She was with me. I've had her since she was a baby, also, and I was really, really, really deep in the with problems with PTS, depression, anxiety, and she was with me through all of that. So at this point, I'm gonna treat you like the little queen that you've been for me.
Yeah, same with my dog. I got her when she was 9 weeks old, within a year of me having moved out here, and that dog has seen me through it all.
Yeah.
Her and her brother. But that's like, she's my pride and joy, She's my everything. I mean, all of my animals are, but she's like my heart.
Yeah, of course.
She's my heart dog.
Since I've had cats, I've discovered I'm more of a cat person than dog. But my dog, she's still my number one. She always will be.
Yeah.
I make her food myself.
Okay, I might have to try that.
It makes it really easy.
My dog, her breed of dog is very sensitive with stuff. She has a sensitive stomach, so I have to be careful what I give her because she'll
Maggie's
have a rough
fucking
time.
tank. Ugh.
Yeah, not mine.
I could give her fucking anything. I used to give her anything just to see what she wouldn't eat.
Yeah.
But that was a long time ago.
Like, she'll eat anything too, but it'll just upset her.
Yeah.
She'll pay the price later.
My girl had never had any problems.
Yeah, mine do. All of my dogs do, I guess. Maybe not my husky, but the other one and my old senior lady, they've got fucking weird. They have my same stomach issues. Oh my gosh. I'm still trying to decide if I'm a cat or dog person, but I like them both equally.
Yeah, I love them both. All right, let me give my number here. I'm coming in at a 4. I've had a pretty solid week.
Okay.
It would have been a 5 until I saw Maggie struggling to get up the stairs. And
yeah.
That shaved off the 5. So
yeah.
Man, if I had to put it in one word, what would be a word for not middle ground, but not overjoyed? Just kind of like in the middle of that. Content? I guess that might be it. Might be just like contented. I'm cool with. I'm all right. Things for the last week have been pretty good. Pretty cool.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good to hear.
Oh, goodness gracious. Do you want to get into this? We want to get into these little starters here? Let's get number 1. This came from the Delve deck. It's level 3. A bad habit that you've managed to quit.
Oh, you go first.
A bad habit that I've managed to quit. One that was surprisingly easier than I thought it would be. And I consider myself lucky for this. I'm not saying that other people suck or anything. But getting off of nicotine was really easy for me.
Okay.
I don't know how, don't know why, but I was just able to get off of that. Another one that was actually difficult. I'm going to say this pointedly because I think it's a conversation that a lot of people need to have, but it's uncomfortable to bring up. I struggled pretty hard to stop watching so much pornography.
Gotcha.
That was pretty
Okay.
rough.
Yeah, I do know people struggle with that a lot. I have a couple of friends whose other halves have struggled with that too.
It affects people in a lot deeper of ways than they think, than they realize. But what really bugs me is the way that people like act like you're some kind of puritanical freak, religious freak.
Yeah.
Because I'm saying porn is bad for you. Like you can have a cigarette and not get addicted to nicotine. You can have a glass of wine and not become an alcoholic. You can watch and pleasure yourself to a porn video, and you're not going to become addicted. But the overwhelming majority of like internet people are probably watching at least when I say watching, that also means masturbating.
Yeah.
At least once a day, every single day. And some people get worse than that. And I was starting to get into that territory. And
oh goodness.
It's like the shit ain't good for you. Like it's addictive and it's really hard to stop.
Well, I'm glad you're able to kick those habits. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a habit for me. I guess me, I can be. I mean, I'm getting better at it, but I'm a reckless spender.
Ooh,
like I'm an impulse buyer.
Yep.
And I recently got like this budget binder and like this savings book that has different types of saving activities you can do. And I started doing that like 5 weeks ago, and it's getting a lot better for me to control my spending,
Yeah.
I ask myself now, it's like, is it something I really need or is it something that I really want? And I try to balance those things. I'll still like buy something that I want, but I don't buy like several things that I want at once, which is my problem. I've always had an issue with saving money, but now I'm really getting into it because I'm like, I want to have extra funds here and there for whenever I need it.
Yeah, of course.
So like right now I'm doing like a challenge of saving, I think like $1,000 in 12 weeks. And I'm at the halfway mark. So by the time I go to Arizona in September, I will have reached my goal. And I try not to take any money out of there. I just put it in my little binder and I shove it away.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Until the next week. Yeah. So I guess that's a habit I'm working on breaking, is the impulse buying. Yeah, because I do that quite a bit, and I realize I'm like, this is an issue because I'm always broke.
Oh yeah,
and I don't like that now. I don't like that feeling. So like, let me try to start saving money so that I'm not always broke, and that way, if I have an emergency, I have funds available. But yeah, that's mine.
I noticed when I'm in a manic phase, I get spendy.
Yeah, same.
Like really easy.
Yeah, same.
What are you still trying to prove to yourself?
That I'm worth it, that I'm good enough. And that's something that's going to take me a while. My anxiety likes to remind me a lot that I'm not enough. If I make a simple mistake at work, I beat myself up over it, and then I start thinking I'm, not good enough. And my boss has had to have several conversations with me about how I am good enough.
Yeah.
But that's something that I'm still trying to prove to myself, is that I am worthy and I am enough. But it's a struggle, but I'm sure I'll still get there.
Accepting yourself as you are is hard. I absolutely know how difficult that is. It's a really difficult, really steep uphill climb, and really nobody can push you up or pull you up. You have to climb it yourself. It doesn't work if you depend on other people. Then if those people leave, then your sense of self goes with them.
Yeah. That's something I need to work on, is self-love, because I hate myself the majority of the time.
What am I trying to prove to myself? Even though I did say, like, I talked about that ketamine therapy session that I had, and how I did accept myself as a good person. I'm still trying to prove it.
Yeah.
It's a continuous thing that I'm going to keep doing. I have to keep assuring myself, not just by talking myself through it logically, which does work some of the time, but I need to continue to have demonstrable, tangible evidence of me being, doing good things, not just for myself or to make myself feel better.
Yeah.
But things that are to the benefit of others.
My thing is just that I need to believe that I am, worthy and stuff. It's just very tough.
Yeah,
most of the time. But that's definitely something I'm trying to work on. And I do want to get back into therapy. I just need to find the right one.
Yeah, that's a hassle.
I need to find one that... Yeah, like I tried doing like the BetterHelp stuff, and like the therapist that I had, she just agreed with a lot of my stuff. I'm like, I need you to... I straight up told her, I'm like, I'm very self-aware. I've done some of the work on my own, and it's just because I overanalyze and overthink everything all the time. But she was mostly just agreeing with me, and I was like, I need you to challenge me somehow, because I'm self-aware of what's going on and the whys. It's just... I need help with not getting triggered and having tools, that'll help me with that so that I can overcome all of this stuff. Because that's where I'm still stuck at, is the fact that I still get very triggered. And I've been wanting to do EMDR therapy.
Yeah.
I hear is really good for CPTSD. And there's another form, I just forgot what it's called, but trying to find a therapist is rough. But I eventually want to try that again. It's just, with the experience I had, I was like, man, you guys just don't get what I need. So I stopped.
I'll start this one. Describe a time you were your own worst enemy. For me, it was... Actually, we did talk about it last week when I had mentioned, if I'm going to take my own life, then it's imperative that I take every avenue first. Every single possibility needs to be exhausted first.
Yeah.
So me having having to give myself that ultimatum is pretty fucking stupid now, in hindsight. It's why would I have to do that? Why would that have to be the contingency for me to try to actually get better? And I resisted for such a long time for no good reason. And man, I could get into the what if, what could have been different, but it's not going to be worth anyone's time for me to make myself feel bad for no reason.
Let's see, for me, I am my own worst enemy every single day of my existence.
Well, that's a bit dramatic.
It's true, and then I self-sabotage way too much too.
Well,
I'm always, I don't know, I'm just always on my own case about everything, and I guess that's where my anxiety and the negative self-talk, comes with me. But it's every single day I am my own worst enemy, because I strive to be all of these things and be great and do this and excel, and especially at work, I really beat myself up there if things aren't perfect, or if I'm not exceeding what I should be exceeding. But for me, it's every day. I probably need to just not be in my head all the time, because I tend to overthink everything. I overanalyze every significant thing that happens to me, and I overread into things. But I've been like that since I was a kid. But I guess that comes with trauma for some people. But
yes,
for me,
it does.
Because I had to read everyone's mannerisms and their tone and all this stuff. So yeah, I'm just overcritical of myself all the time. And it's just because of how I grew up, because I was criticized for everything that I did, and I wasn't acting in a specific way that people were expecting me to act and be. I struggle with that every single day. So
well then, we're going to tackle that
all the time. Yeah,
we're going to tackle that actually in the light section. So it's interesting. Okay. It's good that you kind of framed it that way, because we'll put some sour cream on it at the end.
Okay.
Moving into the heavy section. Oh man. I'll start this one as well. It's what's the most challenging thing you're dealing with in life right now? For me, the most difficult thing, I'm going to frame it this way before I qualify it further. I talk to myself more in one day than I speak to other human beings in a week. like face to face. I don't mean like on fucking Zoom or anything. Making friends in your like in adulthood is fucking hard. That's so. I guess the challenging part is loneliness. Like I don't have.
Yeah.
I only have myself to talk to. It's not a very symmetrical relationship.
Yeah, you need to get yourself out there. I kind of feel the same though. Like I have 2 best friends and they're both in Arizona, so I don't see them a lot. I mean, I'm not really the typical like female, you know. I don't like all the girly things, so it's like hard. It's hard for me to find people that I can relate to because there's very few people. Not to sound like arrogant or whatever, but like I relate more with men than I do women. I don't know why that is, but it's always been like that. I've always gotten along more with men. So like trying to find female friends for me is just tough. Like I have co-workers that I talk to here and there at work that I like and feel comfortable around with, but I really don't hang out with anyone out here either.
Do you ever think that you relate more to men because typically friendships between men or with men are less emotional vulnerability involved? You don't traffic or transact on feelings quite as much.
Maybe
with men as you do with women, as at
Yeah.
least that's what I've noticed. I think
Yeah.
that's an emotional maturity in women, not to say that like men are tough and women are all feely. It's not what I mean.
maybe, I don't know, but the 2 best friends that I have back home, like they we're all kind of opposite, but I don't know, we just get along somehow, and I'm very thankful for those 2 because you know they've seen me at my worst, and they've been there as best as they can, you know, and they try to understand
Yeah.
what I'm going through and do what they feel they can do. So I'm appreciative of them. But like out here, I don't have any friends like you, so I also struggle with like loneliness because there's times where I'm like, man, I wish I had someone, you know, to go do this with me or this with me. And
Yeah.
and I just really don't feel like I have time now for friends. But I think that just is something that happens when you get older. Your friend circle gets smaller and smaller.
Do you ever think like this is something I notice with myself? Absolutely, it's my own doing. I don't have time for friends is because I have filled my schedule with shit to keep me busy and not thinking about the fact that I don't have any fucking friends.
Yeah, same. Yeah, like right now I work overnights now because I don't want to deal.
That is rough. I used to work overnights.
I mean, I like it because I usually don't go to sleep till like 4 a.m., but now I don't go to sleep till like 8 a.m.
Yeah, I get your messages like early as fuck in the morning. I'm a
Yeah,
night owl, so I get your messages
Okay.
while you're like getting home.
Yeah, like that insomnia is a bitch, man. I swear I can't find anything that works. But I work overnights now, so I go in at like 8 p.m. I don't get out till like 4 or 5 a.m. So I don't really have much time for a social life. And I tend to forget about plans all the time. So that usually doesn't help me in the friendship department. But I'm like consumed with a lot of things too. But yeah, I think I agree with you on that part of why we're lonely is because we're like drowning in other things to keep us occupied.
To not think about it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
What conversation do you need to have to set yourself free?
God.
I knew this one was gonna elicit a response from you.
I'll let you start first because I gotta kind of think of how I want to go about this because there's a lot that goes with. There's many conversations I need to have.
The conversation I need to have. I really need to talk to. That's all that's left. As far as my previous traumas and difficulties, and like that's the last thing. And it's not a conversation to reconcile things and try to fix it and be a family again, because that's not going to happen. I have absolutely no interest in having a relationship. The damage is too great, and while I may forgive her for myself at some point in time, I still don't foresee that happening. I still cannot wrap my head around the possibility of forgiving someone for that. For choosing over that. Man, that cut deep. I legitimately had a psychological and emotional breakdown when I when I heard that. I'm like, God damn it.
I mean, yeah, that really fucks you up when you, you know, the person who chooses. I mean, I kind of know how that feels.
Not just choose someone else, the one who like fucked him up the most.
Yeah.
And you're just okay with it. Well, not necessarily okay with it, but you're okay with pretending it didn't happen for your own sake of keeping a relationship with. God.
Yeah, that's really fucked up.
Yeah, it is. But whatever. Like, it's really just a matter of me laying it out. Like, maybe, I don't know. I'll try again in 10 years. That's pretty much it. Is try again in 10 years. Try again in 10 years. And we'll see if I've forgiven you. But until then, like, no. Yeah. I don't want you around me at all. Ever.
Yeah. I get it.
Yeah. And it weighs on me so much. Because there's a lot I didn't say because I tried as well to pretend like I didn't do that. And I can't. It's a lot. It's the only, like, as far as how heavy my pack is, it's the only heavy item left.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm like, I have a lot.
Yeah.
Still, but for me, it's because it still kind of happens, you know? Just in small little bits, you know, the shit is still happening to me.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
And
oh
it's
shit!
hard.
Trump's fucking mugshot. I'm
Is
really
it up
sorry.
already?
Yeah, it's out.
I've been waiting for that whole time.
Here, I'm gonna send it to you. Where?
Okay.
I'm really sorry to interrupt. Like, I cannot not.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
Look at his fucking face. Oh god, it's so stupid.
My god. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I saw something this morning saying that by the evening they would have his mugshot, and I'm glad it finally got posted. Oh man, yeah, today is a great day for that. Oh Lord.
You were saying that, like, it's the thing that you need to talk about still happens in small doses.
Yeah, like there's plenty of people I need to talk to, and like I said, I've tried to do it before and I got gaslit so hard. That's just really hard for me because people won't take accountability for their actions. And it's not just my mom that done things to me, it's other members too of our family. And I mean, I tried to do it with one person in particular a couple of years ago, and I was gaslit so bad. They wanted like examples of when they did such and such to me, and I'm like, we're not going down this fucking road.
I want dates and times and locations.
Yeah.
I want GPS
and they're
coordinates.
Like, you're fucking psycho. Yeah, I was like, they were like saying you're crazy for doing all this and blah blah blah. So I'm like, okay, so I really can't approach anyone because this is gonna happen regardless. And I've like just been thinking I would love to cut a lot of people from that side out of my life, but it's just difficult because I still care for these people, and my dad is attached to the biggest one, my mom.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to do that because I know my dad will choose my mom. And that's something that's something I just realized within the last couple of days, just because of, I like had posted on Facebook or something about how I want to get a tattoo when I go out there for my birthday. And then my mom, she's like, well, she's like, why are you still getting more tattoos? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, it's my body. It's my life. I'm going to do whatever the hell I want to with it. I've been controlled. So I'm like, I can't do this. And then she was telling me, she's like, well, your dad doesn't like your tattoos. I'm like, yes, he does, because he's never said anything bad about them. And then I texted my dad, and he's like, read what your mom just texted you. So I'm like, fuck. So you would take, so that put me down a little downward spiral, you know, because I'm like, my dad is not this judgmental person who accepts me for me. But now I'm like, maybe he doesn't.
I think I'm going to be honest, I think he does still. He's just trying to keep the peace.
Maybe, because like he never got involved. One thing there's a conversation I want to have with my dad. I just need to muster up the guts to just do it, and just do it when it's just him and I. When the abuse was happening with her towards my brother and I, my dad was never around to see it. I don't know if he knows the extent of what this woman did. We didn't get hit. We got our asses like punched, kicked. I got dragged across the floor by my hair. We got punched. She beat the shit out of us. And like, she never did it around where you could see it. You know, she did it in places where you couldn't see it, but we got the shit beat out of us, like literally beat out of us. And God forbid if we laughed, because at some point we would laugh, I guess, as a way to get us through, you know, the beatings, but that would just infuriate her more. But my dad, he'll sometimes like say, so he's like, yeah, you guys, you know, getting your butts kicked really made you turn out fine. And I'm like, no, it caused us a lot of fucking problems that we're trying to fix now in adulthood. But I would love to have a conversation with him to see if he will understand the context of, you know, like what she actually did to us.
Yeah, the actual extent, because when you didn't see it, you can say, you can try to convince yourself it couldn't have been that bad. Or I would have seen it, or I would have seen bruises or something.
Yeah, if he would have known what was happening to us, I wonder if he still would have stayed with her. Because, like, my mom was very verbally abusive to him, too. She wasn't just abusing my brother and I. She was verbally abusing her own husband as well. I'm surprised he stayed with her this long. I don't understand that, but I would love to have a conversation with him about what he thinks this woman really did to us, and then let him know exactly what she did and see how he feels about it, you know? Yeah. But I know he might still choose my mom either way. I think my dad went through, he doesn't talk about much, but I'm pretty sure his dad was abusive to them too in some way as kids. My dad just didn't repeat any of it, but I just have been wondering the last couple of days, I'm like, if I tell him exactly what happened, I wonder how he's going to react. I don't want to get heartbroken by this, because then I will really not want to talk to my dad either if he still chooses my mom. I'm going to try not to cry, but it's like, how can you still want to be with someone who's like literally beating the shit out of your children? Like, that's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but my mom beat the shit out of us, and she used to throw me out of the house all the time. I usually got the worst of it, and I would try to protect my brother as much as I could. I would threaten to call the cops on her, and she would hand me the phone, but I never did it because I, didn't want to get separated from my brother and have him continue to deal with that shit too. But I have many conversations that I need to have, but it's not the best time right now because I already know the reaction I'm going to get. But I would like to talk to my dad, even though I can pretty much see how it's going to go and it's going to suck. But I need to do that. I don't think any conversation I have is going to set me free at this moment in time.
But there
maybe
are
later.
Still difficult conversations that you need to have.
There's a lot of them. I already know what to expect with having conversations, but I can't do that. Another conversation that could set me free in one aspect is having a conversation with my brother, because right now we're, estranged because of something I said. But to be able to have a relationship with him again would be kind of helpful. But that's on his terms. Whenever he wants to have that conversation, that's up to him. Like I said on I think the first episode, I'm not going to force him to talk to me and all this stuff. I'm going to give him his space until he's ready to talk to me. If he doesn't want to talk to me, I deserve it. But yeah, that's the end of my rant for that. Sorry.
No, it's fine. No, it was a really difficult question that I picked it. It wasn't necessarily easy for me just because my response was shorter.
Yeah.
So, like, what do I wish was different in my life? I'm not going to think about stuff in the past that could have been different. I'm going to think about what it is, how it is right now. as far as, I don't know, like we mentioned up top about like filling your time with stuff to keep your mind occupied. Like one thing I do is like home improvement projects. So
Okay.
thinking about that, it's like, fuck, if I had money, all this shit would be done.
Yeah.
All the rooms would be repainted with good paint, remodelings in the bathrooms, that kind of stuff. And
I'm right there with you on that.
It's oddly therapeutic. I didn't think it would be. So there's those. I can't really do much about the sun cooking my fucking plants.
Yeah.
But my garden would be complete.
Yeah. My raised beds are like fucked right now.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to plant anything in the last year, and then
My poor little tomato plant.
yeah, I had well, right now the only thing I have that I'm growing indoors that I need to plant soon is rosemary. I had a neighbor, she cut some and she sent me a video on how to propagate them with water.
Oh,
and
nice.
I was very successful with that. I'm gonna have like a shit ton of rosemary plants. Like when I first moved into my house, I built a raised bed, and then I did it at a cinder block. So like the holes that were in them, I put all of my herbs around, and then I put the actual like vegetables in the main part of the raised bed, and I had a beautiful, like luscious, huge rosemary plant. And then with one of the winter freezes that we had, it fucking killed that plant. And I'm like, I had this thing for 3 years and it's just gone.
Yeah. I talked about the challenge of making friends and not really having people to interact with in person. So I wish that was different. I wish making friends was fucking easier. Oh man, I don't really know how to do that. Yeah, going to like a bar and ingratiating yourself with a random group works for a night, maybe two, and then they forget who you are. And it can get expensive, buying rounds of drinks for a whole group just so you could get a seat 100%. At the table.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, so that's another thing I wish was different. I wish Maggie wasn't old.
I'm right there with you. I wish, your pets could stay alive forever.
Yeah.
That's definitely something I would like to change, is to have my animals around for, a while, a lot longer.
I did Fospice. Do you know Fospice? Foster Hospice? Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I fostered a senior cat for about a year. And when I finally took her to do the deed, even that, like, I've only had you a year, and I'm still, like, my heart hurts as yours stops.
Yeah, I've wanted to do that, like adopt all the senior bully breeds, but I don't do well with loss. Like, I don't do well with it, period. I don't think I'm emotionally stable for this kind of
Hospice is hard.
Yeah. I would love to do that, but I know that I can't. Yeah.
You were talking about the friend thing with wishing it was different before I interrupted with my Hospice.
Yeah, like you, I wish I could, make friends easier. I guess trust people more, because I've been burned by a lot of people in my life. Friends, family, whatever. Like, I had a friend that I was friends with for 25 years. I knew her since kindergarten, and she just dropped me like I was nothing, dumped me in the trash like I was nothing, and that broke my heart. So, like, I guess part of the reason why I don't have a lot of friends is also because I don't trust people, and I guess I self-sabotage on that aspect too. But it would be nice if I could make friends easily.
Quality
being on the fence all the time.
Not,
quality.
Like people that you trust and can. It's a symmetrical, reciprocal relationship.
Yeah.
Those are hard to find.
Yeah, I only have 2.
All right. So, speaking of animals getting old, what made you realize that you were getting old? What was the first thing?
I felt old since I was about 19. I'm not gonna lie, because I started throwing my back out around that time. I've become very limited over the years because of my back issues. So that instantly made me feel old. The first time I threw my back out, I was like, fuck. But I was so young, you know. But yeah, I've been feeling old for a long time because of that. And now my back is it's worse, and I have arthritis now from years of massage therapy. So I feel very ancient. And then I got like my first gray hair a couple months ago, and I'm like, oh fuck, I'm really old now.
Well, okay then. So you're describing a lot of physical things. How about something like a personality trait? Maybe you got excited for the Costco pamphlet in the mail or something.
I mean, I do get excited for like store sales and like deals. You know, I like deals, like even at the grocery store.
I don't think that's an old person thing. I think that's frugality.
Let's see, something that makes me feel old. I hate teenagers.
That might be it.
Like, I cannot. We have some like horrible kids, and I like work in a rich area, and we just have kids coming in there just fucking around and stealing shit, and I cuss them out every time. And like, if someone calls me to like kick some kids out, I have to have someone else do it, because I'm like, I'm gonna get fired at some point, because all I do is cuss these kids out and call them trash.
And their parents are gonna come in and make a fucking scene.
Yeah, but I hate teenagers right now. I hate fucking middle school kids and high school kids right now. I cannot stand them.
We could, for the sake of making it difficult for you, I'm going to attribute that to working in retail.
Yes.
So we're going to have to find something else that makes you feel, that made you realize you're old.
I like comfortable, you know how people usually dress for like fashion and blah, blah, blah. I dress for comfort.
ABC, always be comfortable.
Yep. Yeah, all the time. Yep. Whether it's my shoes, like I just usually wear t-shirt and jeans all the time because it's comfortable. But yeah, I dress for comfort now. And like even my shoes, I get really, you know, to me, good quality shoes with like a good support and shit like that.
Absolutely.
So I guess that's fun.
This is it. That's the one.
Yeah.
ABC is that's your old person moment.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So, something that I thought about when I picked this was I threw my back out for the first time a few weeks ago.
Oh, God, okay.
For the first time, and I couldn't move at all. I had to lay on the ground, and all I had was my phone, so I had to send on Teams for work. I was like, guys, I'm really hurt right now. I can't move. So I'm sorry. I'm gonna be offline for a little bit until I could get to my car, which took a long time.
I bet.
Get to like a 7-Eleven or some shit and get some like Tylenol or whatever they have. So it's gonna be a minute before you hear from me. But
one thing I will say, if it does happen to you again, like absolutely for the love of God, do not put any heat on it because you're gonna make it worse. Ice is gonna be your best friend.
It did hurt again recently, and it hurt badly enough that I had to call out of work for 2 days.
Okay.
And I work with computers, so like all I had to do was get up and walk like 20 feet from my bed to my desk. That's my commute.
Gotcha.
And I couldn't even do that.
Wow.
So, with all these back problems, that comes with getting old, but with age does come wisdom, so they say. In what ways have you grown for the better?
I mean, I've definitely matured a lot. I don't really know what other way to put it, but I've matured a lot. I've grown a lot because of all these experiences. You know, I've gained some wisdom in that aspect. I've become more empathetic, and that's pretty much all I can think of.
So
for now.
You said you matured. Give me some examples in ways that you've noticed your maturity.
Like, I mean, I still have a temper, but it's not as bad. I acknowledge more when if I like screw up, I will take total accountability for it. I'm still learning, but I try not to just be irrational with like what comes out of my mouth and be, you know, in the heat of the moment emotion. If, you know, I'm like angry or something and say hateful stuff. So I've been able to manage my emotions a lot better than I used to. So that's kind of where I've matured.
That's a good one, though.
And I've just been learning to try, because I'm a total pessimist.
I've kind of gathered.
Yeah, total pessimist. I've always known this, but I'm trying to work. I've matured in getting better at that. I still try to see, the good in things, even though sometimes it's very hard.
Yeah, can be.
But like I'm a realistic thinker, so that's where the pessimism comes off. But I'm trying to be more positive with how I see things. That way I don't like trigger myself or cause like a huge anxiety attack. So I've gotten better with that. And I think that's it. That's all I can think of.
I noticed as I guess grew and, got older, and as I was working through my difficult experiences, that as I worked through all of those things, I noticed that I became a more optimistic person.
Yeah.
It was just an inherent thing with leaving that baggage behind. It's like you don't see storm clouds anymore because you're kind of looking in the rearview mirror most of the time, even if you don't realize it. And it's that stuff, that unresolved difficulty does influence how you look towards the future.
100%.
The lens through which you look towards the future.
Yeah.
I would say that since I've let go of all of that bullshit, I have found myself. I have found who I am, which includes accepting some, like really difficult experiences that still have some influence on how I feel from day to day, even now. It's never going to go away, really. But I like you said, I know how to manage these things better. I don't know. I guess I found myself, and I am confident in myself, secure in myself, and so much so that I know I can help others find that for themselves.
Yeah.
So I guess that would be it. How I've grown is like I've self-respect, self-love, self-confidence, sense of self. Yeah, those. It's thinking back on like high school when talking with the boys. Like, man, I don't know. I'm trying to go. Want to go talk to this girl and I don't know what to say. And then my more jock friends would be like, you just got to be confident, bro. I'm like, what? I don't know what that means.
What is that?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that means.
Yeah, like me now, I used to kind of be, well, not with my friends. Like, I'm still very shy around people I don't know because I don't trust you, right? It takes me a while, but like, I'm very, very forward now and blunt and to the point.
Yeah.
Something I never was, and like, I just don't give a fuck anymore. I'm just gonna say what I need to and express myself.
Yeah. That might be another, like, what made you realize you're getting old. It's like, man, I just do not give a fuck about about what like anybody thinks, really.
Yeah, I really don't care anymore, and like, not everyone at my job likes me, and I'm like, I know I'm a bitch. You can tell me anything anyone says to me is not going to offend me in any way. I might agree, half the time with what people are trying to say. But yeah, I've definitely become more outspoken. Like, I don't, like, if something's bothering me now, I'm gonna call you out on it. Maybe not with our family because I know the reaction I'm gonna get, but with other people, I've definitely noticed that I do that a lot more. I don't even know how I got to this.
The not giving a fuck part of it.
Yeah. I don't give a fuck. I'm glad that you have been able to kind of find yourself. That's kind of the journey that I'm on, is trying to find myself again.
Yeah.
Because I have been lost for a very long time. And when you're gaslit for so long, you really don't know who the hell you are once you start getting out of it. So I'm like trying to learn who I really am authentically, because like I do mask a lot still, which is probably something I need to work on too, to find myself. But that's something I'm currently trying to figure out, is who am I really, because it's just it's gonna be a long road for me to get to that point, but I'm very happy that you've been able to get to that point for yourself.
You'll
and
find
I hope
it.
to get there one day.
Yeah, I think you will.
I hope to get there one day too. I'm sure that would probably set me free, is finding who I really am.
Alright, so in the spirit of not giving a fuck, what is something you're gonna treat yourself to this weekend?
Oh my god, I don't even know yet. Maybe I'll go to a movie.
Barbenheimer? Are you gonna do the double feature?
I saw Oppenheimer this past weekend. Very good movie.
Huh. Does Cillian Murphy hang dong in that movie?
Plus, I hear the guy hangs dong, and I'm very interested in seeing that.
No.
I just wanted to make a Always Sunny joke.
No. I need to get back to watching that show. I love that show. That's a good show. I think I do want to go see the Barbie movie.
I hear that it's good,
Yeah, so do I.
even for adults.
Yeah, so I might try to go spoil myself with that. I think that's probably what I'll do.
Ooh, I gotta find one of those theaters that's like has meals and alcohol and shit.
Yeah,
'Cause
it's funny. They used to have, because we have something out here called Alamo Draft House, and
I know the type.
you guys, yeah, like there was an actual Alamo Draft House a couple years ago in like Chandler or something,
I think
and then
it was
it got
Scottsdale.
shut down, or Scottsdale, something like that, and then it got shut down because of COVID, or I don't know what
Yeah.
happened, but that theater's awesome. They don't have like regular type of like pre-show ads and shit like that. They usually do like other storylines behind the movies and things that,
Behind the scenes kind of stuff.
yeah, behind the scenes type of stuff, and just like comical stuff to get you through. And they have really good food. They have like a brewery in there.
Yeah.
And that's usually where I like to go. But there used to be one out there, but it just got shut down. I think it was because of COVID.
There are Harkins, not too far away. Not the one closest, but the next closest they have a bar, but you have to leave your theater to go get it. You know what I mean? Like, which kind of kills
sucks.
it.
Yeah.
Like, how am I gonna look? You know, like give me a whole sixer here, all right? Because I don't want to fucking come back.
Oh my gosh. Doesn't there, I think some of the AMC theaters out there have something where you can like order food, and it has like recliners and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
They have pretty good drinks there too. One of the last
Biltmore.
times I went there. Yeah.
I saw Solo.
Okay.
at
Yeah, that
one.
was I like that theater. They had a pretty decent menu, and their drinks weren't that bad either. Like their mixed drinks.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe go to one of those and watch Oppenheimer, because it's gonna make you hungry. Like I ordered so much crap. 'Cause I went in so hangry,
Oh,
and I'm
yeah.
like, this shit's like 3 hours. I'm like, I need a beer, a water, a soda, the whole nine. But yeah, I'll probably see about watching the Barbie movie either this weekend or next week, maybe. I have to look at my schedule.
Damn, I didn't think about this one. Something I'm gonna treat myself to. Shameless plug for the other shows. Ultimate Fucking Casual and B-Sides Boxing. I also am the main host, I guess. Nah, I'm not gonna say main host. My colleagues are more important to it than me.
Okay.
But I enjoy the content that I have to watch to make those. So there's good boxing on this weekend. The MMA is pretty mid, but whatever. I'm gonna watch it anyway. Okay, I think we're done.
Okay.
I think that was a good one. Man, we got fucking hardcore in the
I
middle
know.
there.
I almost fucking cried at some
I
point.
was like gonna
I
cry
triggered
listening.
myself a
Yes,
bit.
I was gonna cry listening to you, like hearing you like get choked up a little bit. I'm like, God damn it, don't do this. I'm a big fucking baby, okay? I'm a giant
I know,
softie.
me too. I've become a fucking sap, man. That's something that happens when you get older too. You get sensitive as hell.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So
My dad's like that too, and I'm like, you're just surrounded by fucking estrogen all the time. That's why you're a sensitive fucking prick. Oh my god.
got those shows coming up. Or, well, stuff for those shows coming up this weekend. Probably gonna get some beer. Oh, man, we got into the fucking thick of it. All right, socials real quick. LVX Media Net on everything. Contacts. My homegirl's going to get you on the outro, but it's 833-LUX-PODS. You can text, you can call if you're old like me, or WhatsApp. Doesn't matter. You can reach us however. If you go onto the site, lvxmedia.net, the email address is on the Hardshell Tacos page. So, heading into the weekend, parting words.
Have a good weekend. Do something fun for yourself. Treat yourself to something.
Set yourself free with difficult conversations. Don't be like
me. That too.
Okay, that's gonna do it for this recipe number 3. We are fucking making good progress here.
Yep, I agree.
I'm gonna say it one more time. If you can't handle me at my hot kitchen, you don't deserve me at my Hardshell Tacos.
Okay.
Later, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of our podcast. If you have any questions or comments on what was discussed or have a topic you'd like to hear on the podcast, you can leave a message on our unattended phone line at 833-589-7637. That's 833-LUX-PODS. For more shows like the one you just listened to, go to lvxentertainment.net.